Who's ready to get a little bit better? If so, comment yes right now in the comments. We're getting ready to do it right now. Now, the thing I'm going to talk about to you today, here's how I'd say the question. How can I master my state? How can you master your state? Now, that's not typically the way the question comes to me. It comes more in the form of, man, I feel like I'm on this emotional roller coasters and I have highs and lows, and like, when business is good, I'm up, and when business is bad, I'm down, and like, I had a great day, and then I went home and like, oh my gosh, like I got in a fight with my spouse, I yelled at the kids, like, so really what that all is talking about is how can I master my state? How can I have sustainable, high level, peak performance in my state? And so I'm gonna break this down for you now. This is kind of bread and butter teaching for me. Like, if you've been following me long at all, you'll probably hear me bring this to you multiple times. I might say it a little bit differently, but this right here is a foundation of my life. The last 5 years or so, I've lived into this. And what I can tell you is the longer you live into this, the more consistent and sustainable the results become. And the more, like, the emotional roller coaster, let me tell you, I know what that's all about because I lived it. And you could ask my wife and she would tell you, like, it was big highs, but then there was lows, and I would draw back and I'd pull back. And I mean, come on, does anybody know what I'm talking about? Are you one of those people that have those high highs, but then you have the low lows, and you'd really like to be able to be here? Or what I chose instead, not to be here, but I chose to say, you know what? I'm gonna make energy a habit. I'm gonna live up here. Woo! And that's where I'm not turning this on for you guys. Like, this is where I live in a sustainable way. So how do you master your state? 3 things. It is going to be through, I heard Tony Robbins teach this the first time. He calls it the triad of meaning. I kind of tweaked the language just to simplify a little bit for me. But if you imagine this triad, I'll put it on the screen here. Like, it is what you do with your body, your physiology. It is what you do with your mind, your focus, if you will. And it is what you do with your words or your language. So what you do with your body, your mind, and your words. What you do with those 3 things will determine the state that you're in. And that state encompasses you, right? I mean, I don't have to teach you what is state. Like, when you're in a good state and when you're in a bad state, when you're in a high energy state and a low energy state, when you're in a positive state and a negative state. We know, like, this whole thing that we are, if you can't master your state, which is including all your emotions and how you react, how you respond to things, if you can't master that, you will never be able to escape the roller coaster of emotions, the roller coasters of highs and lows. And so for me, when I grabbed hold of this tool, I didn't just go to an event and hear this taught and be like, oh, that's good. Like, I'd love to, that'd be nice to have that someday. I grabbed hold of it. I looked at my life and I said, how do I live this out on a daily basis? So number 1, what do you do with your body? Like, if you haven't noticed, my body moves an awful lot. When I make that move and I take back my power. And I don't have to feel energy. I can command energy that quick. I can command it into my life, because when I move my body, of these 3 ways, your body, your mind, and your words, the quickest one to shift your state is your body. Physiology first. When you shift that, you can shift what you're focused on. You can shift the words that you're using, but a lot of times the body is the doorway. So if I'm sitting down, and I'm like on a computer and I'm typing and I'm worn out and I'm tired, come on now, like, the number of times, how many of you have gotten so sick and tired of looking at Zoom screens because you're still working virtual? And so your body gets into a physiological state that is not serving you well. And you go to low energy, and maybe you go from low energy to unmotivated, uninspired. And so you get into that place, right? And so when you get into that place, maybe 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're hitting that lull and you're home and you're like, man, I'd like to take a nap, but I shouldn't. Like, what can you do? Well, Woo! Physiology first, baby. Get up and move your body. Do 30 jumping jacks. Go for a walk around the block. Get on a rebounder if you have that. But move your body, and that is the doorway to shifting your state. Because here's the thing. Whatever state you're in will determine the meaning that you bring to circumstances, which brings us to the second one. What are you going to do with your mind? What are you going to set your mind on? What are you going to focus on? Because whatever you focus on, you will feel. Tony Robbins says it all the time. Wherever focus goes, energy flows. And the 3 questions that we are constantly asking, I could do a whole video just on this, but I'll just drop it here. 3 questions we're always asking is, what will I focus on? What meaning will I give it? And what will I do as a result? Now, so what state we're in will determine the meaning that we give to something. See, we can be experiencing the same circumstances, but be focused on a different thing and therefore bring a different meaning to it, which will get us a different outcome. So you get to choose your focus. Like nobody else gets to choose your focus. You get to choose this mind of yours. You get to choose what you will set it on. What is good is always available to focus on. So is what's bad. What's missing is always available to focus on. So is what is abundant and available. Which one are you going to focus on? You choose. And when you choose that, it is going to determine the state that you are in. So choose carefully, choose wisely, my friends, because if you want to get rid of that roller coaster, I guarantee you, when it starts to go down like this, when it starts to go here, stop right there in that moment and say, what am I focused on? Not just what meaning am I giving it right now? Because you could be focused on something, the same event, but you give it one meaning and I give it a different meaning. You give it a negative meaning, I give it it's an opportunity for growth. So choose your focus so that you can master your state. And then lastly, what are you going to do with your words? What will you do with your words? Because life and death is in the power of your tongue. When you release words out of your mouth, you release creative force. Like you literally have the power to create with your words. And if you are always speaking negative things, lacking things, missing things, frustrating things, angry things, depressed things, if you are always speaking that out, again, focus goes, energy flows, and you focus on that with your words, and you get your, like, when you start talking about depression, then your body starts doing depression, and you start focusing on that with your mind, what's that gonna do to your state? So you have to choose carefully your words. I listened to a podcast, I kind of combined 2 thoughts, but one was all about automatic negative thoughts. Ants. You got to kill the ants, man. Kill those automatic negative thoughts because you can choose that because those automatic negative thoughts turn into automatic negative words. But you've got to kill the ants so that you can turn on the TV. The TV? The transformational vocabulary, because vocabulary has the power to change your life. And that's how you master your state. You've got to realize that, like, state mastery doesn't just happen. I've made energy like this a habit in my life. Whatever your state is on a normal basis, can I just tell you, you've made that your habit. You're a low energy person, you've made that a habit. It's a pattern in your life. If you have a tendency to always focus on the negative, that's a pattern, it's a habit. The words coming out of your mouth. I was just having a conversation earlier today with a friend about a family member who they kept focusing on the negative. They have a habit, a pattern of that. And since it's a habit, a pattern that you created, guess what? Whoa, you can take back your power and shift that pattern. And if you shift that pattern, you can change your state. You can master your state. You can get off the roller coaster of emotion and begin to live into the best version of yourself. If you want to live into the best version of yourself, shout yes in the comments. That means you got to put it in all caps with a bunch of exclamation points, probably a few emojis too, okay? Shout it in the comments right now. So 3 things to master your state. Number 1, what are you going to do with your body? Learn to command energy. Learn to not just do what you feel, but to do what you choose to do and tell your body is not in charge. Your mind is in charge. You tell your body what to do. woo, you can make your move and command energy. Number 2, what are you going to do with your mind? What will you set your focus on? And you get to choose that focus. When you grab hold of that power to choose, then you have the power to change any moment, every moment, in any circumstances. You are not your circumstances. You are what you choose to focus on and feel as a result of your circumstances. A whole nother teaching there. So number 2, master your focus. And then finally, number 3, what are you going to do with your words? What is going to come out of your mouth? I challenge you today, work this triad today. Move your body more than you ever do. Set your mind on the right things. Find only positive things to focus on. Only positive things to focus on today. I'm not telling you to stick your head in the sand, but just see how it makes your day shift, how it shifts your state if you only focus on the positive today. And then, you know what? Only speak the positive. Speak life. Speak goodness. Speak gratitude. Oh my goodness! When you begin to master your state, it changes everything, and that's what I want for you, because there is greatness on the inside of you that the world needs. Nobody else has it but you. And so you have a responsibility and obligation and the opportunity to fulfill your destiny. So how about we do that a little bit today? Go out there and give your greatness to the world, because somebody needs what's on the inside of you. I love you, people. Have an awesome day.